Get ready for Venom the Last Dance with Eddie Brock and Venom's story so far.
Alright, let's go.
A spaceship crashes into Malaysia. One of the astronauts is John Jameson, who has a very Marvel name like his father, J. Jonah, Jimmy, Jason, Jackson, Jordan, Jasmine, Julian, Josephine, Jessica Jameson, a junior. Some of the other passengers are 4 symbiote life forms. The bioengineering company Life Foundation recovers 3 of those symbiotes, meaning one of them must have gotten away, because math. Life Foundation CEO Carlton Drake learns that these symbiotes can't survive without an oxygen-breathing host and uses people as test subjects. Over in San Francisco, journalist Eddie Brock sneakily learns about this via his fiancée Anne's legal documents as she's preparing a lawsuit defense for the company. Eddie uses this information against Carlton when interviewing him. This misuse of information leads to Eddie getting fired from his job, Annie getting fired from her job, and Eddie getting fired as Annie's fiancée. 6 months later, and it's now a different season. Because weather. Eddie is not in a great mental space when he's approached by Dr. Dora Skirith, a scientist for the Life Foundation, revealing that the people who are being tested on with the symbiotes are often dying, something Dora is against. So she helps Eddie break into the research facility to gather evidence. During the infiltration, Eddie accidentally bonds with a symbiote, who has the same name as the title of the movie. He manages to escape the facility, but soon learns that Venom grants him super abilities, like not gagging when eating food from a bin. Venom reveals that his species intend to invade Earth and Drake's organization is preparing for their arrival. Carlton becomes aware of Eddie literally and figuratively bonding with Venom and sends mercenaries out to capture him. Luckily, Eddie and Venom have the adrenaline momentum and escape the attack. Drake, the doctor not the singer, bonds with the symbiote that got away. This symbiote named Riot hopped from person to person, making its way from Malaysia to San Francisco. Riot's plan is to bring more symbiotes to Earth using a Life Foundation spacecraft. Because of Venom's interactions with Eddie, he agrees to help stop Riot.
What are our chances?
Pretty much 0.
The jet black and dark grey symbiotes battle in the middle of the night, so I think Carlton and Riot explode in the destruction of the spacecraft, but Venom and Eddie make it out alive. In the aftermath, Eddie resumes his journalism career, now with Venom as his secret partner. Their first interview, the incarcerated serial killer, not Sideshow Bob.
There's gonna be carnage.
Eddie is struggling with his suit. Venom, not tuxedo. Venom wants to eat baddies, but Eddie prefers chicken or lobster.
So eat those guys!
I can't. Sonny and Cher are best friends.
Trying to rebuild his journalism career, Eddie continues to interview Cletus Cassidy at San Quentin State Prison as the inmate refuses to be interviewed by anyone else. During one interaction, Venom notices cryptic drawings on Cletus's cell walls and is able to deduce that these are the locations of the victims Cletus has killed over the years. The serial killer, not to be confused with a serial eater, is put on trial where he's sentenced to death by lethal injection. Cassidy feels betrayed by Eddie, but saves him a front row seat for his execution, an offer which Brock takes up. Before the execution, Cassidy insults Eddie, provoking Venom to lash out. Cassidy tries to eat Eddie, which causes him to ingest a small part of the symbiote.
I have tasted blood before, my friend, and that is not it.
As the lethal injection process takes place, the symbiote inside Cassidy awakens, transforming him into Red Venom. He goes on a rampage, killing guards, freeing himself before freeing his lifelong love, Frances Barrison, aka Shriek, who has a really bad singing voice but uses it to yell people away. Cletus's and Shriek's relationship isn't, dare I say, the most symbiotic relationship, as symbiotes don't like high-pitched frequencies. Meanwhile, Eddie and Venom go on a break, where Venom hooks up with other beings, but he doesn't feel connected to them in the same way that he did with Eddie.
Another one bites the dust.
A detective named Patrick Mulligan has suspicions over Eddie because of his link to Cletus and arrests him. Eddie's ex-fiancée Annie acts as his lawyer and helps him find Venom to return him to Brock. Cletus wants revenge on Eddie for betraying him, and Shriek wants revenge on Mulligan for shooting her in the face while trying to attack him years ago. So the pair kidnap Mulligan and Annie to lure Eddie and Venom to them. The final battle takes place in the worst possible location, a cathedral with a massive bell and a shrieking Shriek, threatening both red and black symbiotes. Shriek reenacts Ernesto de la Cruz's death in Coco, while Cletus is separated from his symbiote and reenacts Lord Farquaad's death. Annie is safe and Detective Mulligan's eyes set up the next movie. To avoid the authorities, Eddie and Venom decide to leave San Francisco and chill out on the beach, only to be pulled into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, before being sucked back into his universe, but not before Venom tips the waiter with a tip of him. And now you're all caught up and ready to see Venom the Last Dance. You're welcome! Let me know in the comments what your favourite Venom movie is, and don't forget to absolutely obliterate that like, subscribe and share button. I'm just kidding, only do it with enough force that it registers. I don't want any of you breaking whatever device you're watching this on.